And welcome back to another CBB Talk with your boy Will Dickinson. We're back. It's felt like it's a while since I've last talked to you because we did an episode on Sunday and now it's Wednesday. So it's been, 3, 4 days since last time talking to you. And it's been a great start to the week in college basketball. I feel like I say that every week, but this last night, Tuesday, was one of the best weekdays in college basketball I think we've had all year. And Monday had two really good games there. And one of the biggest topics is Carolina or Kentucky going to make the NCAA tournament this year? And as someone on TikTok might say, let's analyze it. Um, North Carolina has a very interesting resume this year. They are 1-8 against quad one opponents, and they are really just struggled to get their stride going this year. They're 7-6 in ACC play. They're 44th in the net, 15-9 overall. They're a little better in KenPom than they were last year at this time, but their record is worse. Again, now they've lost 3 in a row, at home to Pitt and at Duke and at Wake Forest. And none of those are easy games, but those are games that the preseason number one team in the nation should be winning. Again, they were in foul trouble a lot. I mean, Tyrese Albee had 23 free throws, 35 overall. And Armando Vega came after the game and said, if you don't want to be here, go home. That's something you would say in the NBA. In college, that's crazy. And I'm going to be honest, Caleb Love is probably the reason this team's not a good team. He doesn't look like a good teammate on the floor. He forces his own shot, and he's been struggling over these last couple games. And a lot on Tuesday night there against Wake Forest. Of course, Wake Forest could end up being top 25 team, right? Not a top 25 team, a tournament team. And if they end up being that, then it might not look as bad loss. And Wake Forest is a great team on the road. Even though my Virginia Cavaliers did beat them on the road. They're a good team at home. And of course they had, great Tyrese Albee, 23 free throws, insane. He's 6 for 12 from the field with 23 free throws. I mean, that is crazy. Seth Trimble fouled out 4. They had 8 fouls from their bench. Maycott fouled out. Caleb Love, 9 for 25 from the field, which was, that's one of his better games. So he didn't play bad there. RJ Davis 0-4 from 3. They just don't shoot the 3 well, and that's what hurts this team. Are they a tournament team? I think they'll make it. I'm a little bit more concerned about Kentucky because I don't think they have a lot of talent on their team. Honestly, besides like a guy like Severe Wheeler, all right, no, not Severe, Cason Wallace. We can get to them in a second, but I think North Carolina is still gonna be a tournament team. I don't think they're as good as last year. We're gonna see if they have to turn around. They go and play Clemson on Saturday at home. That should be a win. Don't want to lose 4 in a row, especially at home to a Clemson team who's bad computer rankings. Kentucky, on their other hand, I'm pretty nervous. They just lost to an Arkansas team who sucks on the road. Big game. Ricky Council does his thing. 20 points. Anthony Black put up 19 points. That's a great game for Anthony Black. Even hit 3 threes. 13 off the bench from Jordan Walsh. 15 from Davis and Mitchell. I'm guessing Makai Mitchell. They have 2 Mitchells. Arkansas is going to be a tournament team this year, and Kentucky, I'm not so sure about it. Of course, I really wish Arkansas and Nick Smith because I would have loved to see the potential of this team. I think it could have been a team that could make an Elite Eight like they had the 2 years prior. But it sucks to see the way Oscar Tshiebwe went from really being the best player in college basketball last year, most dominant guy, and now this year he's probably not even in the conversation to be a player of the year. Had 7 points, 7 rebounds, only 6 shot attempts in 31 minutes. It's weird to see that from a guy that was the national player of the year. The national player of the year to not even be able to score 10 points in a game against a team that doesn't have a great big man. Kentucky's in a weird spot. I'm not sure if Xavier Wheeler was out or was he a bench. because I'm not actually sure if he got. Okay, so he was out for that game. And Lance Ware is out too. I don't know if he was a DNP or injured as well. I'm searching that up. Which yeah, maybe they were a little short-handed, but let's see. I don't see anything about Lance Ware. Anyways, this team is just this not a good Kentucky team. They're the KenPom #1 team in the nation going in this year. I don't know if they're gonna make the tournament. If I'm being completely honest with you, I do not know if they're gonna be able to make the tournament this year. If Kentucky fans, I know they're not happy, and we'll see where this season goes. If I had to bet, I think Carolina makes it, Duke doesn't, or Kentucky does it. But I think one of them will make it. But I think it's more likely that neither make it than both, in my opinion. But let's go on and talk about the other games. Happen these Monday and Tuesday. We'll go with Monday first. Duke got manhandled by Miami. Yeah, just got manhandled. Like it was like from the whole game. Lively was their leading scorer. So shout out to Derek Lively playing better basketball recently. But O'Meara was giving buckets out there. Didn't even have a great game from Isaiah Wong, which he hasn't been amazing like he was at the beginning of the year, but still it's 16 from Jordan Mill, Popelov 14. Just an even good game from Miami, and they just Duke could not get anything to go. They need Dariq Whitehead back because they don't really have a guy who can give them buckets. Constantly. Jacob Grandison has not been really anything, and Proctor struggled, only 3 points from him, and only 9 from Flipkowski. So when Flipkowski and Proctor don't have great games, that's going to be tough for Duke to win. Those are their best two freshmen on the offensive side, and Live leads them scoring. So it's good to see Derek Lively starting to get more scoring looks. But they got manhandled. I moved Miami up to number 19 in the poll, up 4 spots, and now they are ranked second in the ACC. One game back in the actual ACC standings, but second ranked, of course, in my opinion. And then the big Monday game at 9:00 was the Texas-Kansas game, and I'm watching this game, and I see this stat pop up that was under Bill Self. They were like 20 something and 30. I couldn't remember what it was, either 20, like 5 or 30 something. I can't remember it, but they were undefeated under Bill Self on Monday games, big Monday games. So I saw that stat. I was like, there's no way Texas wins this game. No, I didn't think they were going to win this game. I'm being completely honest. I did not think Texas at all was going to win this game. Kansas coming off a loss, Texas coming off a big win. I didn't see Texas going in to the field, Allen Fieldhouse, and getting the win, and I was right about that. Kansas offense was really good. Grady Dick was amazing. He was getting his bag, and it's good to see a game where Jalen Wilson had 2 points and Kansas won. I think they needed that. Jalen Wilson took 4 shots, and I don't know if this is part of Bill Self's plan, right? Because Jalen Wilson had tied for the least amount of shots out of the starters tonight, and yesterday took more off the bench. So, and he wasn't foul trouble. He only played 27 minutes. Now, I know maybe this was part of the plan. Maybe Bill Self was like, all right, we need to get other people involved for seeing me good down in the future, down the stretch of the season, because Jalen Wilson, remember what I said in the last episode, is that I don't know if anyone else in Kansas can step up, because Jalen Wilson, this whole team offense, he only had 2 points in this one, and Kansas scored 88. So they just ruined my take on that. They proved me wrong. Great game. Yesu 14 off the bench. Grady Dick 21. DeJuan Harris 17. He's looking more to score, and he's becoming a threat on the offense end, which is nice. McCullough hits 10 free throws in this one. KJM is always doing this thing. It's the short roll, man. Good on Kansas. I got him up to number 6 in my poll. Texas right behind him at 7. I still think Texas is one of the most underrated teams in the country. 29 for Marcus Carr in this one. Tyrese Hunter, hasn't been as good as people thought he was going to be coming into this year, after his breakout March Madness with Iowa State. But he didn't have a great one in this one, but I think he can still take that next step like he did last year in the tournament. And then Serge Rice on the bench has been better. Wasn't amazing in this one, but he has that nasty pump fake. And I still think Texas is an elite team in college basketball. I only got him at 7, but I had Kansas jumping ahead of them after that performance on Monday night. Let's get on to Tuesday, where I told you it's the best day of college basketball maybe all year. That was not a Saturday. And Marquette played UConn to start off the day. And I was a big Marquette guy. I had them at number 6 going in this game because I loved what Shaka Smart was doing. They were playing great in the Big Ten, Big East. They had wins against Baylor. They were really good. They beat pretty sure they beat Xavier. They beat Creighton. They have good wins. I think they beat UConn already once this year. And UConn came in there and whooped Marquette's ass. I didn't watch the second half. I'm gonna be honest. Because after that first half, I was like, God, UConn just destroyed them. They made that buzzer beater end the half. And I kind of knew from right there they weren't coming back. Jordan Hawkins started off this game on fire. He has that flame, like that kind of reminds me of a Kemba, a Shabazz Napier type guy. And of course, Sanogo is always going to be good. Caravan hit his threes. Tristan Newton is a great point guard. 12 assists in that one. Looked really good. And UConn has depth that can be, a factor in the Big East tournament in March Madness. Marquette, that's a tough game to go into. I moved them down because I think I was too high on them. Honestly, I think I was. I admit when I'm wrong. I admit when I was wrong. And I think I had them too high. So I ended up moving Marquette back 9 spots down to 15. Still second in my Big East. And UConn, I don't have them in my top 25. Maybe that's a little crazy on my behalf, but I got them 1 spot out. They're the first team out. So if any team falls out, UConn would go back in there, but Deshaun played good basketball, but I can't deny they lost 6 out of 8 games. Of course, they looked great in the non-con, but mine's more based on not the entire resume, but kind of how you've been playing recently, where I think right now, if these teams play each other, who would be the best team, not on the whole exact resume. But yes, if it was resume, I think UConn would be a top 25 team in the nation. That's why they are in the poll, and a lot of people's mind they're top 25, and I think you're not wrong if you say they are. Another game that actually tipped off at 6:30 was that Indiana-Rutgers game. Another game that didn't disappoint. Indiana avoids having a little fallback after beating Purdue. Trace Jackson Davis was so good. Scored his 2,000th point in this one. Also, shout out to LeBron James. My GOAT, the GOAT. That last night didn't change anything about if you didn't think he was a GOAT then, you're not going to think he's a GOAT now for scoring 36 points at least in a game. But it just helps his resume. Shout out to LeBron. Anyways, Trace Jackson Davis had a big game. Miller Kopp had a great first half. Finishes with 18 in this one. Jalen Hood-Schifino, didn't have a big scoring output tonight, but you can just feel his presence every time he's on the floor. He's such a good player. I think he's an NBA draft pick, the one and done guy. Rutgers, that's a tough game. 8th loss of the year. Rutgers is going to be a tournament team. Cliff Amore was really good in this one. Just a struggle game from Caleb McConnell, and that's probably why you lose. I know he's such a good defender, but 1 for 12 from the field sucks. And that's definitely, and of course they don't have Wag. They don't have him for the rest of the year. Oh, Mag, geez. They don't have him for the rest of the year, which just hurts that team a lot. I still think I still like Rutgers this year. They did drop out of my top 25 along with Duke, and I'll get to my new two teams later. But good win for Indiana. They're up to number 18 in my poll and avoid a loss that looked like it could have possibly happened after that big win against Purdue. Auburn. I was the first seller on Auburn. All the people I know, I was the first people to give up on Auburn, and they lost at Texas A&M. Texas A&M, I think, is a tournament team this year. They had high expectations going this year, and then they started to play bad in non-conference. But what are they 10-2 in 9-2 in conference play? They've proven that they can win the SEC and will be what they were last year, but better. Last year they almost won the Big Ten tournament. They didn't end up winning it. And that was the reason they didn't make the tournament, which was, was close as they should have. This year, I think they should be in it, and I really like Texas A&M, the way they're playing right now. They could be a top 25 team in mine. I just think there's too many teams right now above them, but I think they're a tournament team for sure. Dayton took down VCU in the A-10 battle, which, of course, I don't know if the A-10 is going to be a 2-bid lead this year. It's kind of a down year for them, but Dayton got a big road win against VCU, who could have got into my top 25 discussions. Shout out to Pitt. They're really close. They're one of the teams above them. I have them as the second last team now in my top 25, so 27. They gave Louisville work, which is not a big of accomplishment, but Jeff Capel is looking like he's going to lead Pitt to his first tournament under him. I don't know. We already talked about that Wake Forest game, so we don't really need to talk too much about that. We already talked about that Arkansas game. Michigan State picked up a needed win. Malik Hall is back. They were trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. They have 9 losses on the year, so a 10th loss there. I've been talking about Michigan State's not a tournament team. I think Michigan State will end up making this tournament. You just gotta stay in that top 6, that Big Ten, top 7, the Big Ten. Both these teams will be, I think double-digit seeds. Maryland and Michigan State. Maryland's been playing way better recent. Not both are not elite offenses by any means. But I do like Michigan State more than Maryland, and I'm glad they got that win to keep their keep the tournament promise going. My Virginia Cavaliers, they looked really good last night. It's good to see Reese Beekman back to full strength, and it showed last night. It was really good to see him finally have that, second gear that he can get to, finish around the rim, playing good defense on whether it was Jarkel Joyner or Traquavion Smith. He had a lot of times when Jarkel Joyner, and he went 2 for 14 from the field, so it kind of showed his presence out there. Really good game from Jayden Gardner. Keeps doing his thing over these last couple of games, being a consistent scorer. And now that Armin Franklin has been playing, worse over these last couple of games, Gardner steps back up like he did last year and be this top scorer. Kie Clark keeps doing his thing. He only had 4 shot attempts tonight, kind of low, but he still played 36 minutes. And, trust me, when Kie Clark's on the floor, you can feel the difference. And, they have DJ Burns, a big problem down low, and a big solution of fixing that was Caden Cedric. He had a DMP, coach's decision, last game on Saturday against Virginia Tech. Then he comes out and plays 26 minutes in this one, 10 points, great defense. And, of course, my favorite player, him, Isaac McNeely, had 2 threes. This dude he played 28 minutes in this one, so I think Tony Bennett's finally realizing this dude deserves a lot of minutes because he is such a good shooter. Virginia gets a big win. They stay at 14 because that's a game you should win, Virginia. They only have 4 losses on the year, but they just don't have an amazing resume. But I love my Cavaliers this year. Again, I think we have a legit shot to be an Elite 8 team. I don't see a national championship out of this team, but I do see a potential, I think, a second weekend team, for sure. Not minimum, because I could definitely see this team laying a stinker like they did 2 years ago in the bubble one. But I still like the Cavaliers in Virginia. And then the last 2 more games on Tuesday that really note was Kansas State handing TCU another L. TCU is an interesting subject to talk about. They still don't have Mike Miles. We do not know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully he can come back soon because TCU really needs them. You could see that their offense is not the same without him. They kept it decently close in that first half. Kansas State offense came alive in the second half. A bounce-back game from Marquise Noel. Hit that logo 3 to end the game off after he really struggled in that game against Texas. Kansas State, remember I said I was worried about them. They come in and play TCU now. They could lose 3 in a row, and I'm going to start to consider maybe they have a step back to reality. But no, they get a big win there. TCU, I dropped them down to 20th. Another loss, you'll probably be out of it. TCU need Mike Miles back. He's the engine that drives that team. But Keontae Johnson, is cooled down a little bit. Still 14 in this one. They've gotten the Goosen back, which is huge. And Desi Stills and Green, 13 off the bench from that one. Good win for K-State. You're up 12. You're up to 12th in my rankings. Then the last one of note, of course, was a team that's new. I have FAU back in because their resume, they only have 2 losses on the year, so you're back at number. God, that cough is maybe a little watery. Anyways, FAU is back in there, and the new team's back in there, and it's Nevada, the Wolfpack of Nevada. They proven that they are a top 25 caliber team out of the Mountain West. A big road win against New Mexico. Gerard Lucas. Is that his name? Gerard Lucas? Is Gerard Lucas from Oregon State. He was on that Oregon State team that made Was it the Elite Eight? Back in 2021. He had 20 in this one. He's their best player. Blackshear had 14. This Nevada team's really good. They're playing really good recent. New Mexico is not. New Mexico is 19-5, Nevada's 19-6, but Nevada's been playing way better recently. Been winning games on the road in the Mountain West. And I have them in there at 24, right above NC State and below FAU. So the Mountain West course competitive team, and they're competing for that best team, and we'll see that San Diego State plays tonight in a big one. So I'm going to take a little water break, come back to preview these next 2 or 3 days. And yeah, that's it. So today is not, sorry, God. Okay, whatever, too bad. Today's not a great day. Compared to yesterday, at least, definitely not a good day. No, it's a decent day. Not as compared to yesterday, not as good at all. Iowa State is going at West Virginia. West Virginia is favored in that game. Iowa State trying to get another win on the road here after beating Kansas on Saturday. Let's see if they can come back and get a big road win. West Virginia needs this game to keep their tournament hopes alive. Charleston, I guess, plays UNCW. It doesn't really matter. I think Charleston has to win their league. Especially if they lose this one, but I'm guessing no matter what, they'll still have to win their league to get in. Unless they win every game and lose that, but I think they're gonna have to win their league. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, just keep getting wins, man. You gotta win the games you should win. If you want to make this tournament this year. Alabama plays Florida. Expect a Alabama win there. Oklahoma Baylor is a good one. Baylor should win. Oklahoma, not a tournament team this year. If they lose this, they'll be 500. And then this might be the best game. San Diego State at Utah State. Utah State's one of the teams in my honorable mention. It's hard to win on the road in Mountain West. We saw Nevada do it yesterday. Let's see if San Diego State can prove they're the best team in the Mountain West. If Utah State wins this, we'll see if Utah State gets in the top 25. We will see if they will do that. Maybe. We got to see how much they win by, or if they win at all. On Thursday, we have Iowa and Purdue. That's a good one. Iowa's playing better recently. Purdue's number one team in the nation, trying to avoid back-to-back losses at home. I expect them to do that, but maybe they're going on a little losing streak. I doubt it. Trying to look for more games on Thursday's not a good day, man. Thursday is not a good day. St. Mary's goes at LMU, so that's a challenge for St. Mary's. This is their first game since that Gonzaga one, but I expect them to be able to win that one. I would be very surprised, honestly, if they lost. So really nothing on Thursday. And Tuesday really had all the games. And there's Xavier plays Butler on Fry. And New Mexico plays again. And Nevada plays again. But really, Fry's kind of lame. St. Louis Dayton's actually a decent one in the A10. But that's it. Kind of slow back half of the week after the great Monday and Tuesday we got. But yeah, give me your thoughts on North Carolina and Kentucky. What are their odds of making the tournament? And Kansas getting back to where they are. And just a great Tuesday slate that we had. A lot of great results there. Another episode of CBB Talk. I missed the last one was 25, man. I would have said something. We're 1/4 away there from 100. We're going to be having, in these next couple weeks in the regular season, be normal schedule. It's usually every Monday, Wednesday. It's usually every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But sometimes you'll get a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or a Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. Wednesday every time, and it's either Monday or Sunday. Check on Monday. You can just watch it on Monday. You can watch on Wednesday, and you can watch on usually Friday or Saturday morning. I don't know about this weekend. We'll look at the game schedule coming up on Friday. Well, that episode actually might be a Saturday episode. That might be a Saturday episode. Anyways, peace out.